All right. So come to your mat, comfortable seat. Get yourself a blanket, bolster, block, whatever you need to sit on. We're going to start seated today. So find something comfortable to sit on. You can bring your feet wide out with toes touching, or bring heels in, whatever is comfortable for you. Wiggle your sit bones down to the ground, just kind of get rested, get relaxed, get ready to come into a nice hour flow here. So bring your hands to your knees, into your lap, whatever feels comfortable. I'm going to start mine today with the hands on the knees and gently just start rolling the shoulders up and back down. Just a little couple shoulder rolls here, waking up the back of the body on this practice. Do two more. Don't even have to bring the breath into it yet. Just kind of shoulders up, back, down, shoulder blades down on the back. One more time. Up, back, and down. And now we'll do it with the breath. So on the inhale, bring your shoulders up towards your ears. Inhaling through the nose. On the exhale, exhale through the nose. Shoulder blades go back down around it. Then relax. Again, inhale, shoulders come up towards ears. Through the nose, grounding down through your sit bones. Hold it for a moment at the top. And then exhale, shoulder blades, shoulders back down and around. Do this 3 more times. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, back down and around. You can start to close your eyes or softening your eyes with the gaze down towards the floor. Just arriving with your breath, your shoulders. And exhale. One more. Inhale, shoulders up towards ears. And exhale, back down into stillness. Now take a nice deep breath here without any movement. Just inhale from the ground, from your sit bones, through your belly, to the chest, shoulder blades, back of the head lifts. Keep this shape and exhale through the nose slowly for 5, 3, 1. Exhale all the way out. Once again, inhale for 5, 4, 2. Hold it at the top. Exhale through the nose. 5, 3, 1. Exhale it down. Inhale here, sound of Om. We're just going to take a nice big inhale and a nice big exhale through the mouth. Next inhale, we're going to inhale and exhale for Om. So inhale. Om. Take a free inhale here. And just open mouth exhale. Let it all go. Take your hands wherever they may be. Bring them to your sides of your body. You can come up on your fingertips, like so. And we're going to start here with a little side body stretch just to waken it up. So with your right hand, simply twist over to your right. Bring your right hand to your left knee. Left hand can stay on the ground. Back straight. Inhale here. Simple seated twist. And exhale. One more inhale here. Stay for the exhale all the way out. Come back to center. Take your left hand over to your right knee. Twist to your right. Again, inhale in. And exhale through the mouth all the way down. One more big, expansive inhale here while you're twisted. Hold it at the top for a second. And exhale all the way down. Still in your twist. Next inhale, come back to seated, facing front. Here, just start to walk your hands forward on your floor or whatever's in front of you. We're going to bend from the hips and over your legs just a bit, waking up the back of the body. Inhale, lift, and exhale. See if you can fold a little deeper. Your hands may be fingertips on the floor or way up high on a block. You just want to get a little stretch into the back, waking it up into the spine before we start to use that. Again, one more big inhale here. And one big exhale. Let it go. On the inhale, walk your hands back up. We're going to come back into tabletop. So remove anything from your mat if you're sitting on it. If you need a little padding on your knees, you can take your blanket, towel, or whatever, put it on your knees. Come into a tabletop position here. So start with your hands under, wrists underneath shoulders, fingers spread wide, knees underneath hips. Knees are about hip distance apart, or they can be together, whatever's comfortable for you. Toes can be tucked here to start. So this is your neutral spine. Just hang out here, take a nice free breath in, and a nice breath out. Now on your next breath in, drop the belly, lift the chest, come into cow pose. On the exhale, do the inverse. Belly to spine, back rises, push through your hands into cat pose. Next, inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. You may even lift the head and eyes up a bit. Exhale, into cat pose. 3 more times on your own, following your breath. Big expansive inhales into cow, and exhale into cat. You may bring some movement in here. You may move your wrists underneath your arms as you inhale. And on exhale, you may bring the hips to heels and around, whatever feels good. Do it one more time. Inhale into cow, exhale your cat. And when ready, come back to neutral spine. Move your knees back 3 or 4 inches, toes tucked. Grip the mat. Inhale, lift the hips, come into a downward dog. Now this may be your first downward dog of the day or the week or the month. So spend some time here. Work with your hands firmly planted. Grip with all the fingers. Shoulder blades on back. Spine nice and long. Hips start to go towards the ceiling. Knees may be very bent, or they may be working towards straight legs. Heels are working towards the ground, but they don't necessarily need to be there. So one more inhale here, and exhale, just walk out those back of the hamstrings, thighs, calves, just opening up the body. One more inhale, and exhale, straighten the legs, work towards down dog. Next inhale, walk your feet back up to your hands, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold over. Now bend your knees really deep here. Bring your ribs to your thighs, hands to the floor. Next inhale, start to straighten the legs, come into halfway lift. Exhale, fold, nice and deep. We'll take a free breath here to inhale. On the exhale, belly towards spine, and see if you can fold just a little bit deeper. Next, inhale, chin comes to chest, and slowly rise up to standing. Shoulders and head are the last things to come up. Come up into easy mountain pose at the top of your mat. So at the top of your mat, feet flat, all 4 points of your feet of each foot pointed down to the mat, heels, toes, Tuck your tailbone under, tuck in your belly towards spine. Inhale now. Hands come towards sky. Exhale, hips back. Swan dive down, knees bent, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more time, we'll just go through that. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands through center to mountain pose. Again, setting up here. Take a free breath, set it up. Inhale, hands towards sky. And exhale, again, forward fold and down. Now from this forward fold, do a halfway lift. Exhale down. From here, simply step your right leg back and then your left leg, foot back to meet it, coming into plank pose. We'll stay with high plank here early on. Again, grip the mat with your fingers, shoulders over wrists, tailbone pushing towards your heels, heels reaching back, strong here. Inhale. Can you feel the belly start to pull in and engage? Exhale. Keep that engagement. Keep the belly towards spine. One more inhale with the engagement. And exhale, lower your knees, lower all the way down to the mat. Head to mat, hands near shoulders. Inhale here, and exhale, just setting up. Now take your right foot, top of the toes, just kind of reach it back, put top of the toes on the mat. Take the left foot, reach it back, top of the toes to the mat. Your knees may come off the floor here. Setting up for just a baby cobra. So hands next to shoulders, tops of the feet down. On the inhale, rise up, shoulders towards the back. You don't have to go high here, but just engage the feet, hands, and part of the lower back. One more inhale. And exhale, bring it down. Inhale, back to your knees. And exhale, back into child pose. So knees wide, feet together. Hands, like in our downward dog, active, gripping the mat. And push your tailbone towards your heels and feel the nice stretch. We're going to take a little side body stretch in child's pose today. So next inhale, walk your hands over towards the right. Your left hand may go on top of your right hand. Still pushing back with the hips towards heels and the fingers pointing towards the front of your mat. You'll get a nice side body stretch here. So inhale. And a nice long exhale. We'll take one more of those. Inhale, stretching the left side of the body. Exhaling all the way out while we're still in the stretch. Now inhale, come back to center. Take a free exhale here. We'll set up for the second side. Next, inhale, walk your right hand over towards your left hand and stretch to that side body, that side waist. Inhale in. Right fingers may come up in tent or stretch even further. And exhale, hips towards heels. Feel the engagement through the right side of your body. One more time. Big inhale here. And stay for the exhale. Next inhale. Hands come back to center. Come back up into tabletop pose. We'll take a little tiger pose here to keep the length, keep the strength out. So starting here, take your right foot back. Stay in tabletop position. Your right toes are on the mat and tucked. Again, on the inhale, lift the right foot up. Heel pressing back, toes down. Now you can stay here if this is too much, but keep those hips pointing down, engagement on everything else. If you want, now you can add the left hand off the mat, fingers pointing forward. Reach through the left fingertips and the right heel. Don't forget to breathe here. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time. Inhale here. Exhale. Bring the left hand down, right knee back. Set up for the second side. Left leg all the way back to the back of your mat. Toes tucked, engaged, hands planted, fingers gripping the mat. On the inhale, left foot rises. Left heel points towards the back, right toes down. Stay here. Or on the next inhale, lift your right arm, stretch it out front, engage for those fingers, all the way back to the left heel. Hips point down, square it off. Inhale here, reach, reach, reach. Exhale. One more long inhale here. And on the exhale, bring it all down. Take a nice clearing cat-cow. So on the inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. And the exhale, cat. Push it down on the inhale one more time. Come back to neutral. On the exhale, hips to heels. Inhale, back to downward facing dog. Walk out your dog here. Take a free breath in and a nice free breath out. And your next breath in, take your feet all the way as wide as your mat. Walk your hands back towards your feet, knees bent. Come into a ragdoll. Forward fold. You may hold, I'll show you this way. You can hold your elbows, your wrists, back of your thighs, whatever's good. Want to release that lower back, let the head drop. You may sway side to side. Nod it in yes, no. Just hang out here for a couple breaths. Nice deep inversion. Relaxing time. Next, inhale. Touch the floor. Walk toe heel the feet towards each other. Exhale, fold in deeper. Inhale, halfway lift. On the exhale, from the back of your mat, walk your fingers back out to downward facing dog. Now from here, walk your feet closer together. On the inhale, take the right leg to the sky. Stretch it out. On the exhale, bring it back down to meet your other foot. Now take your left foot on an inhale, up towards the sky. Exhale, bring it down. Just waking this up right now. Again, inhale, right leg high. This time, you may open up your hips, drop your back ankle towards the floor, bend your knee. Take an extra breath here. Exhale. Straighten the hips off towards the front of the mat. Bring the front foot to the front of the mat, coming up into a high lunge pose. So set it up here, knee over ankle, back foot, heel over toes. On the inhale, look forward. On the exhale, hands come back, sweep back behind you. On the inhale, using your core, lift yourself up into a nice high lunge, back leg lifted. Here, work it again. Tailbone down, belly towards spine. You may not go as deep, but if you have the good alignment here, that's what we're looking for. Inhale, arms to the sky. Keep that side nice and long. One more inhale here. You may even clasp the hands, bend back a little bit. On the exhale, hands frame the front foot. Right foot goes back, meets the left foot into a down dog. Take a free breath here. I'm setting up for second side. So on the inhale, left leg comes to the sky, bend the knees, open the hips. If you took it on the right side, take it on the left. If not, you can stay with the straight leg. Take another inhale here. And an exhale. Now on the inhale, straighten the legs, square the hips. Exhale, foot between the hands, come up into high lunge. Second side on the left side. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, arms sweep back. Once again, on the inhale, using that core to lift yourself up into a nice lunge. Tailbone points down, back nice and straight, arms to the side. Hands can be wide or open. You may even clasp the hands and start to do a small back bend here. One more inhale, exhale, hands to the floor, step your right foot up to meet your left foot, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold it down. Do that one more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Now plant your hands, step your feet back, plank pose. Stay here in plank pose, or lower your knees, lower down into baby cobra. If you've been here before, plant the tops of your feet, hands to your shoulders. Inhale, up into baby cobra. Exhale, down. We're gonna do that 2 more times. We're gonna inhale, and this time take your head and look towards your right heel. And exhale, down. Inhale, one more. Take it to the left side. Hand down. Now from here, inhale back to your knees, up and back, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Take a couple free breaths. We'll set up for a little side lunge. A little lengthen to our next lunge. So again, feet come towards each other. Inhale, right leg up. Stack the hips, or you may open them up, bend your knee, point down. Take an inhale here. Nice exhale out. Inhale, straighten the hips, straighten the legs. Exhale, right leg between fingers. Inhale, exhale, arms come back. Inhale, back up into our crescent lunge. This time, take your right arm, right hand, and grab your left wrist. Pull yourself up a little bit on the inhale. On the exhale, crescent over to the right, just a little bit. Get that nice side body stretch on your left-hand side. Keep the tailbone pointing down. Keep breathing. Nice deep breaths here. Next, exhale. Hands frame the foot. Step it back. Second side. Inhale, left leg up. Took it again. Bend the knee, open the hips. Roll out that ankle if you want. Next, inhale. Straighten the hips, straighten the leg. Exhale. Foot between hands. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, arms back. Inhale, come to standing. Here, take your right wrist with your left hand. Pull yourself up a little bit. And then exhale, crescent over to your left. Get a nice side body stretch. Inhale here. And exhale. Hands plant. Right foot meets the left foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift again. Exhale, plant your hands. Hop, step, or jump back to plank pose. Stay in plank pose, or down dog, or child's pose here. If you want to go through a vinyasa, come with me. Knees may come to the floor. Lower down slowly. Back to baby cobra. Inhale up. This time we're just going to exhale right down. Tuck the toes. Inhale. Up and back. From here, walk your hands back to your feet again. Take your feet as wide as the mat. Come into a nice ragdoll pose. Stay here for a few breaths. You may want to just hang out. Do a little deep breathing here. When ready, in your ragdoll, walk your feet towards each other. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Next inhale brings us all the way to standing. Arms towards sky, hands to center. Mountain pose. Easy mountain pose here. So we're working the side body. So we're going to be doing some stretching. We're going to open up the shoulders a little bit. So here's something. We're going to do a couple standing poses here before we're starting getting in some balance poses. So come to the front of your mat, mountain pose. Hands can be on hips, just to kind of give you that tailbone down, belly in. On the inhale, arms come above head. Take your left wrist in your right hand. Stretch yourself up. On the inhale, hips go towards the left. Crescent towards the right. Stay strong in the legs. Don't want to collapse. And you may not bend far, or you may bend really far, but the goal of the pose is to feel the stretch in the left side of the body. Inhale and exhale. Next inhale, bring it back to center. Arms come down. Sorry, someone's coming into the room. I'm just going to let them in. So let's do second side. So inhale here. Arms come above head. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Shoulders up, back and down. Inhale and exhale, crescent over to your right. Strong in the legs, push down through the earth, pull up through that upper arm. One more inhale here. Stay for a nice long exhale. Inhale back to center, easy mountain pose. From here, take your arms out to a T, standing here. Start to work the shoulders open. So spread your fingers, and then from your shoulders, rotate just so your palms are facing up. And on the exhale, palms facing down. Do that a couple more times. Inhale, palms face up. Exhale, rotate just from the shoulder blade down. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now take your arms into goalpost arms. So shoulders wide, arms up like a goalpost. Now inhale, bring the forearms together, and then exhale, squeeze the back shoulder blades as you open up the chest. Inhale, arms together. Exhale, shoulder blades squeeze back and down. You may even feel a little back bend in this. Inhale. Exhale. Arms come down. Now, if your shoulders are tight or shoulder blades are tight, we'll do a couple versions of some arm movements here that'll open them up. Let's just start with taking your left arm over your right arm. Bring your hands towards your shoulder blades and just kind of like hug yourself like you were in 7th grade in the, this stuff. Elbows stack on top of each other, standing straight in mountain pose. Inhale, lift the elbows just a bit. Squeeze in on those shoulder blades. Exhale here. One more time. Exhale, let it go. Next inhale.
I found them.
Opposite arms, so left over right. Inhale.
Nobody's looking at us. Oh,
and exhale. One more time. Inhale it in. And exhale it down. Come to easy mountain pose. Let your arms drop. We're going to come into one more of those. We're going to come into eagle arms from here. So again, bring your arms up. You may stay with this version of it, but we're going to start here. Bring your left arm under your right arm. Bring your forearms towards each other. Wrap your hands into eagle arms. So standing mountain pose, eagle arms. Been liking this one a lot lately. Start to lift your elbows up just a bit till you feel it engage in the shoulders. Once you feel that engagement, stay there. You don't want to go too far. If it hurts, back off a little bit. Bring those shoulder blades down. One more inhale here. And exhale, let it go. Do second side. Right arm under left arm. Into eagle arms. Inhale, shoulder blades go up till you feel your back engaged, your shoulders muscles engaged. Exhale, keep the tailbone tucking down, belly towards spine. One more inhale. Exhale, let it go. That's half the class right there. So stay with us. We're going to come into some balancing poses here and some, floor poses after that. So come to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant. Step your right leg back. Now this is a place where you may want something under your knee. So if you have a blanket around, grab it. So from here, lower your back knee down, right leg down, top of the foot down, knee over ankle on the left foot, rise up into a nice low lunge on your knee. You could stay here or bring the hands over the head. On the inhale, you can go a little deeper. On the exhale, come back up. You want to stay strong in that front foot, like you're almost going to stand up while you're doing this, and strong in the back foot. Inhale, go a little deeper. Exhale, come on up. Inhale, hands come to the floor, and we're simply going to switch legs. So left foot goes back, right foot comes forward, knee drops. Inhale, back up into low lunge. You can stay here working with your hands on your hips, or you can bring your arms up. I'm going to stay here to show you. Inhale, drop a little deeper until you feel the engagement on that back thigh. Exhale, back up. Strong in the feet. Inhale and exhale. One more. Waking up those back, quads, front of the thigh. Inhale, hands at the mat. Bring both legs back. Tabletop. Take a nice cat-cow here. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, belly towards spine. Cat-cow. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Just working the back of the body. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale. Hips goes back towards heel. Come into down dog once again. Walk it out here. Inhale, right leg goes towards the sky. Exhale, step your right foot between your right hands. Back knee back to the ground. Rise up. Back into that same lunge position. This time we're going to take a twist with it. So inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hands, prayer into chest. Now from here, twist from your top of your body and then come into the side angle pose with a twist. You could reach and come across, but I find doing the twist from the top and then coming down gives me that extra space to get in there and sets up my belly and ribs to be more active. Hands pressed together, elbows towards sky. You can look down at your foot. You can look down, up at the sky. If you want to here, you can lift the back foot, reach back, and grab it for a twisted lunge. Go to whatever feels right for your body. Inhale here. It's a little harder when it's constricted. And exhale. Let everything go. Hands frame the front foot steps back. Plank pose. Inhale here, stay with this, or exhale through chaturanga. vinyasa, or meet us back in down dog. You're going to do the vinyasa. Inhale, exhale all the way down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, back and down. Meet us back in down dog. Paddle it out. Take a breath, take a sip, relax. We got a whole nother side to go. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands, back knee down. Inhale, back in to the lunge. Take a breath here. Inhale, arms comes to the sky, and the exhale, hands come to chest. Again, twist from the top, and then up and over the left leg. You have two sides of the body, and this side for me is much tighter than the right side. So I won't be reaching back to grab the foot in this pose, but if you do, bring your foot up, reach back, and grab it. If that's not there for you today and you want to still grab it, use a strap to grab that back foot, or just stay in the twist, twisting your belly, your ribs, your spine, hands pressed together, elbows to sky. One more big inhale here. Take a nice big inhale, even though you're all twisted up. And exhale, let it go. Next, inhale, hands frame foot. Now from here, rather than coming up, we're simply going to come back and do a runner's lunge. So drop your hips towards your heels, top of the toes come up, left leg goes towards straight. Inhale, back into the lunge, and exhale, back into the runner's lunge. Do that 3 more times. Inhale, forward, and exhale, back. You could stay here or you continue with that movement. I'm going to stay here, just let it get that stretch. Stay for one more breath. Exhale. Walk your hands forward, frame the foot. Bring your back knee to meet your other back knee. In tabletop, bring your right foot forward. We do that same stretch on the right side now. So low lunge, back foot down, front foot. Inhale, come back up and exhale. 3 more times after this one. You may want to stay in this one for the breaths or continue to work it. 2 more big breaths here. Feeling the nice stretch in the back of the calves, the thigh. 1 more. Keep the toes pointed towards your face. Stay as long as the exhale comes out. Don't rush it. Inhale, hands back to frame the foot. Knees together, wide on the mat. Remove anything that you have sitting on. Sit your hips to your heels. Come down into a nice child's pose. Give yourself a little rest here. When ready, come back to sitting on your heels, back of the mat. Sit up straight. We're going to take that same sort of twist that we did at the start of class, but here. So take your right hand down, your left hand comes to your right knee, and twist over to the right. Just keeping that back nice and engaged and rinsed out. Inhale and exhale. The second side, just switch it up. Left hand down, right hand to the left knee. Twist over to your left. Your head doesn't have to go too far. You can be looking forward, but use the eyes to move yourself to the left. Inhale, come back to center, walk your hands out, grasp the mat. Take your hips to your heels. Inhale, downward facing dog. Now from here, come high on your tiptoes on the inhale. And the exhale, let something go. One more time. Inhale high on your tiptoes and exhale. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, hop or float or walk your feet up towards your hands at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, come to standing top of your mat. Hands come through center. Mountain pose. From here, keep your left foot nice and strong, rooted on the ground. Bring your right knee to your chest. Now you may hold your knee with your hands or have it reaching up in the side. When ready, bring your right foot into tree pose. You may have it up here on the thigh, below the knee, or kickstand on the ground. But come into that rooted standing pose. The foot to the thighs sealed down, tailbone down. Hands come to heart center, or they can come out to cactus arms. Or you may reach up. If you want to give yourself a little extra, find a point on the wall or ceiling a little bit above the horizon line. You may feel yourself wobble, but think down to that foot. Are you balancing on all four corners? Are you too much on the heel, too much on the front of the foot, the ball of the foot? Expand up as you inhale. And as you exhale, bring your hands through heart center. Release the foot. Bring the knee back up to your chest. Stick your legs straight out, toes up, and then slowly bring the right foot down to meet the left foot. Hands to the side, shake it out. Set it up for second side. Right foot is strong this time. Left foot, left knee comes to your chest. You may grab it here to give yourself a little bit of adjustment to keep that tailbone down. And when ready, bring the left foot to the right thigh or below the knee on the calf or to the ankle. Root it down, right leg straight, tailbone down, belly towards spine, hands at heart. If you want more, inhale, arms come up to the sky. Your tree pose. Keep yourself rooted down. Inhale, you may lift your gaze a bit. You may even start to slowly soften the eyes towards close, playing around with the balance that you have today. Big inhale here. Stay again for the exhale. Inhale, hands come to heart center. Knee comes to chest. Inhale. Straighten that left leg. One more inhale here. And the exhale, slowly bring it down towards the floor. Release the hands, shake it out. We're going to come into a little eagle pose here. We're going to bring back those twisted arms that we did earlier into our eagle pose. So standing again on your left leg, bring the right knee up, cross it over, toes point down. Your right foot may go behind your Achilles. Mine do not. So I'm going to stay here. And this may be a great pose for you to stay in eagle. But if you're ready, arms come out to side, tailbone down, big straight. Take your right arm underneath your left arm. Again, wrap those elbows together. I'll come into the side angle so you can see. Stay here, or you may start to shift your hips back and bow forward just a little bit or a lot. As you do, the elbows draw towards the knee, belly towards spine. Inhale. Exhale, you may go a little deeper. Inhale, come all the way up, bring the feet to the ground. Unwrap your arms. This is a nice place here where you may just want to swing your arms side to side or work your shoulders out after that. It's a big pose. Again, we'll do the second side, right leg down, left knee up, crossover, left toes point down. Stay here, or arms out. This time, left arm under the right arm. Into eagle pose. Elbows up. You may stay here, or you might start to drop the hips back and fold towards your knee. Elbows towards knee, but strong in that leg. Bending from the hips. Wobbly is good. If you come out, simply come back up, cross it back over. One more inhale here, and exhale, let it go. Give yourself a nice rock side to side. Feels really, really good to do that. So meet me at the top of the mat, mountain pose. Inhale in, exhale, forward fold, and down. One more inhale here, and exhale, touch the floor. Step back, plank pose. Inhale in plank pose. Stay here, go back to down dog, child's pose, or join me through a vinyasa. Exhale, knees may drop, chest to floor. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, back up and down, downward facing dog. Inhale here. On the exhale, walk your feet towards your hands. We're going to do one more standing pose before we come to the floor. So inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands down and through. So at the top of your mat, we're going to do a standing pigeon because we're going to come into pigeon later, but we're going to set up for a little standing pigeon since we've been doing so much work on our back today. So just like eagle, left foot strong, bend that knee a little bit on your left side. Right leg comes up, ankle over knee. This is where you may want to block too. So I'm going to grab a block and put it in front of me just to show this. So left foot strong, right ankle comes over left knee. You can stay here. This is perfectly fine. We're just going to looking for a little bit of stretch in the right glute. Inhale and exhale, start to hips back, bend forward. This is where a block helps. I'm touching the block here and I can feel on my left glute that it's just fired up right now. You may go deeper to the floor, but don't go too deep to where it hurts. There should be no pain in the knees. Just one more inhale in. Exhale, maybe bend a little deeper. Inhale, come back to standing, release the leg. Mountain pose. Do a second side for that one. So stand straight and tall on your right foot. Inhale, your left foot up. Cross the left knee, left ankle over the right knee into a figure four. Inhale, exhale, hips back, fold over and down to a standing pigeon. This side's much tighter. I can't even reach the block today, so I will just stand here as I can feel on my left glute. It's just fired up. It feels great. If there's any pain in your knee, come down to the floor. We'll do this on the back. But let's stay here for just one more breath. Inhale in and exhale. Let it go. Inhale, come back up to standing. Remove the block. Take your feet a little bit wider. Heels in, toes out. Hands to chest. We're going to come down into Malasana squat. Just a quick little squat here. Feel good. You should feel that you're nice and open at this point. Inhale here, and on the exhale, simply come down to seated on your mat. Feeling good. We're almost there, everyone. So you're doing great. Come to seated here, feet straight out. Sit nice and tall. Your legs may be bent a lot or a little. We're just going to take a little nice active reversal here. So from here, I'm going to work with my legs bent because my back has been a little tight lately, but you may work with your legs straight. Inhale, And then exhale, fold over towards your toes. With my knees bent, I can get that nice stretch in the back that I'm looking for without having my hamstrings and calves stop me from doing that. If you want to, you could work towards straighter legs, or if you are there, just bend forward. On the inhale, straighten out a little bit. On the exhale, fold in just a little deeper. Take another inhale here, and then exhale, fold. Next inhale, walk yourself back up. Swing your legs around. Now we're going to come into pigeon pose. So if you know you need some bolsters, blocks, or any props for this, it's a good time to do it. Come up into tabletop. We're going to come on the right side first. So I'm going to grab a bolster because I like a bolster underneath my right thigh. We're going to come here, simply going to step back into plank pose. I'll move my bolster in. From here, take the right knee towards the right elbow, shin towards the front of the mat. Back foot, top of the foot down. Sit back. Set yourself up for a nice pigeon. We're going to be here for 5 to 7 breaths. So we're really going to go deep into it. Inhale and exhale, fold over into your pigeon pose. If there's any pain in the knees, take this on the back, which is a figure 4 on your lying on your back. I can show that in the next side. But here, just surrender into the nice deep breaths with the feeling of the stretch on the right side. Take 5 more breaths here. Nice, slowest, longest breaths you can. Try and go for a 5 count in and a 5 count out. We'll give you almost a minute on each side. If the sensation's too much, you can always just back off by coming up a little higher. Or coming on the foot, we're adding more padding. Go to your degree. Another 20 seconds here. Nice 2 big deep breaths in and out. If you can do it. Inhale. Exhale. Another big inhale here. Exhale it all out. When ready, simply push yourself up to seated, tuck the back toes, come on up into 3-legged dog, or whatever feels good after a nice big stretch for pigeon. When ready, meet us back up in down dog. Walk the feet out. Just feel the difference between your right and left legs at this point. The next inhale, left leg comes to the sky, and exhale, left knee towards the left wrist, left shin towards the front of the mat. Come on down, set up your pigeon for the left side. Back toes straight, toes to the floor, knee down. Set yourself up here. The big inhale, and on the exhale, fold forward and down. Again, if there's any pain in your knees or legs, take it to your back in a nice figure 4 stretch. So we did standing pigeon just a few minutes ago, and now we're doing the nice floor version of pigeon. So we should already be ready to be a little bit more opened up and a little deeper into those parts of the hips. So sometimes just doing it standing can let us go deeper later in the practice. Got about another 20 seconds here. Can you do it in 2 deep breaths in and out? And out for 1, 2. Last big inhale. Exhale it out. Doing great. Inhale. Walk your hands back up. Tuck your back toes. Three-legged dog. Or whatever feels good after a nice deep pigeon. If you're in downward facing dog, bring your knees to the mat. Bring them wide. Sit back on your heels. We'll get ready to come to our back. Do a few twists and take a nice shavasana. You'll be done for the day. So come onto your back. Bring your feet towards your heels. And your feet can be as wide as the mat, so your knees can knock in towards each other. Shoulder blades down on the ground. And just start to windshield wiper your knees from left to right, coming onto each edge of the foot. Hands can be wide, they can be cactus arms. On the next time we go over to our left, drop both knees towards the left. Keep your shoulder blades on the mat, and we'll do this nice big twist. And you may look to the left, look straight up, or towards the right, depending on what you need and what feels good in your body. Your arms can go out towards straight, or they could be opened. We did all that shoulder work, so you might want to come into goalpost arms or cactus arms here. But keep those shoulder blades down, keep breathing. Exhaling. Inhale, bring the knees up. Exhale, drop them over to your right. It's just the opposite side of the twist that we just did. You could look over towards your left, up towards the center. Stay here for another couple big breaths. One more inhale. Nice exhale. Bring your knees towards center and just curl them into your chest here. Your right leg can go over your left or left over right. Let's start with right over left. Curl your knees in towards chest, chin towards chest. Your shoulder blades may even lift off the ground a little bit. Give yourself a nice big wrapping hug. Let your back down, neck down. Put your hands on top of your knees and let your knees fall forward. You'll draw your arms straight. And from here, you can just roll on your lower back a little bit. Give yourself a nice lower back massage after all that work today. Sacrum. Whatever feels good for you here. Roll it around one side or the other. And when ready, switch the ankles. Hug it in. Exhale, let the knees drop towards the front of the mat. Your hands are still engaged, your arms are engaged. Roll it out just a bit more here. From here, drop your feet towards the mat. I'm going to grab a block for a little active reversal. Or you could bring your feet to the sky. You can come into shoulder stand if you have that. I'm going to take a block underneath my sacrum. Bring the feet up to the sky. And for just 30 seconds here, let my feet relax. My bones are plugged in. The blood will reverse from my feet down to my heart. Your heart will pump a little harder to get the blood back up to the feet. So it's not truly resting. They're actually active inside your body. About 20 more seconds here. If you're in shoulder stand, you can start to come out of it. Slowly bring the knees towards your head, chest, down to the floor. You may take a counter pose after that. If you're in active reversal like I am, simply bring your feet to the floor, lift your hips, remove your block, bring your tailbone down, knees hug into chest. And for a last pose here, just come into a nice happy baby. Grab the outsides of your feet, insides of your feet, ankles or shins. Keep the tailbone pressing down, chin towards chest. You can rock your baby side to side a little bit, just relaxing. One more breath in, and one big breath out. Next inhale, deepest inhale you've done in a while, and exhale, let it all go. Feet go towards front of the mat, heels towards the sides, shoulder blades tuck under, arms down on the floor, palms facing up. Big inhale here, and big exhale through your mouth. One more, last giant inhale in. Last bit of work you have to do today. And the exhale, let it go towards your Shavasana. Close your eyes, breathe normally. Let yourself concentrate on the spot between your forehead, the third eye. Let your body relax, let your mind go. Stay present in your body. All the work you did to this point will help you through the rest of your day. And you can stay in Shavasana for as long as you like, or if you're ready, you can meet me at seated. Simply start to wiggle your toes and fingers. Bring some awareness back to your body and breath. You're going to meet me back up at seated, roll to one side or the other, just like you were waking up for the first time again. The inhale will bring you back up. If you like to sit on something here, a blanket or bolster, go right ahead. But come here, cross your legs if you're up, hands to knees, or in your chest in prayer. Thank you for practicing here today with us, with all friends. Your hands to your third eye. Thank those that can't be with us today, or those that will be with us later. Thank you for showing up and practicing. Namaste.